Hey guys, so I have this topic that I've been wanting to talk about since yesterday, but I didn't get time yesterday to record it. So right now, hop in, do it real quick. So I saw this post yesterday morning, and it was about this woman who had a C-section, and she was being stitched up, but her husband was in the hallway with her baby. And it just kind of was like about how she was feeling, and it just really hurt my heart to read it. And it brought me back to my C-section. So I'm gonna go into depth in that story and just kind of like describe my emotions and describe what really happened, and like how they're related. So I was in labor for 41 hours. My birth story is on YouTube, I think, and my birth story is in 2 parts, I believe, on my Instagram TV as well. But yeah, I was in a lot of pain. My water broke about 12 hours into my labor on its own. And then they let me go for another 16 hours after my water broke. And like, yeah, it was 41 hours like overall since I actually started my labor and everything. But anyway, LJ wouldn't come out, so they had to give me a C-section. And my emotions going into my C-section was, on the outside, I was like, okay, C-section, let's go, let's do it, let's get him out, because I haven't, moved in progression in over 12 hours, so let's go. So, yeah, I was like, all cool on the outside, but on the inside, I was like freaking out. On the inside, I was absolutely petrified. On the inside, I was like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Like, they're gonna cut me open. Am I gonna feel it? What's gonna happen? I had adrenaline running through my body, as well as my epidural, as well as some other pain medications. I mean, my poor body was just pumped full of drugs, because with my epidural, actually, it numbed my left side, no problem, but my right side, it was not gonna be numb. Like, it just, the anesthesiologist had to keep coming in and giving me like these little doses of it to hopefully get it to numb, and it wasn't. It wasn't fully numb until I was in the OR and they were cutting me open to get the baby out. That's when everything went numb. So basically, from about 1 in the morning when I got my epidural after my water broke, until about, I don't know, maybe like 4:30ish, when they actually were cutting me open, yeah, my whole right side was not numbing. So yeah, that was fun. But as I was laying there and they were cutting me open and getting him out, it was quite the emotional experience, because I did not feel them cut me open, but they were like talking and I could hear it. They were saying, okay, she's open. All right, now let's open the uterus. Let's, get everything out. Let's, do this and that and the other. Like, I could hear them just talking. And the anesthesiologist was up by my head, and he was just telling me god-awful dad jokes the whole time. Sorry. It's just making me laugh. And then all of a sudden, I felt this like big load of pressure, like just below where my bump would be. And they pulled him out, and he squeaked, and then there was like no sound. So it like freaked me out. And mind you, okay, my arms are like out as if you'd be measuring like my wingspan type way. Okay, and I have to keep my arms that way. So I'm laying there wide open, you know, can't grab my baby. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, why is he not breathing? Holy heck, you know, like they showed him to me and he looked like an alien because when the baby comes out of the canal, there's fluid here and here that needs to like be expressed. And that's what makes their head shape, right? I don't know what that all means, but that's what they were telling me was that that's why his head looked like that, was because he didn't go out of my birth canal. So he had fluid right here on either side. And they were telling me that because he didn't cry when he first came out, they were worried. So there was like a few moments of, oh my gosh, he's not breathing. What do we do? What do we do? You know? And then he started to cry. And when I tell you that I probably was not breathing until he cried, I'm probably not too far from the truth, honestly, because it petrified me on the inside. Oh my gosh, not even to the emotional part yet. I'm already starting to cry. And it was really tough. And so they weighed him and they checked him, and his scores were really low. Excuse me. I've been up pretty early, so I apologize for the yawning, but I'm already starting to cry. But yeah, so they took him out, weighed him, did his scores, you know, and everything like that, brought him back all wrapped up and cute in a receiving blanket and a little hat, and showed him to me. And you know, they're still stitching me up at this point, and they put him on my left shoulder, and they were like, here's your boy, here's your son. And I said, oh, he's so cute, I wish I could hold him. And they said, yeah, we wish you could hold him too. And one of the nurses that was in there, she was coming by me after, I believe, one of the nurses who was actually holding LJ, like, stepped away. And she told me, she goes, so when we did your son's scores, they were pretty low. His blood sugar is not at all where it needs to be. So it's pretty urgent that we get him to the nursery. And I said, okay, that's fine. And they were like, would you prefer that we gave him formula, you know, because we don't know when you're going to be closed up all the way, and we need to get some food in his system, you know, to bring up his blood sugar, because otherwise it's just going to be all bad. So I said, okay, if you need to give him formula right now, that's fine. So they brought him to the nursery, gave him the formula, closed me up. I remember being taken out, and I remember sort of going back to my bed after being cut open. It's all kind of a blur because I was so drugged up. Like, they had me on Pitocin because they induced me. I had my epidural, and I had the doses to get my other side numbed. What else? And I had this other drug that was like for pain. It starts with like a D, I think. But yeah, it was pretty insane, to tell you the truth. I didn't get to see him for probably the first 20 hours of his life, because I had to walk to go see him. It was really tough. Um, because, you know, they had to immediately take him to the nursery. And as a mama, after your baby's born, you don't anticipate that. You anticipate that you're able to push the baby out and have the baby be on your chest. Oh gosh, sorry. And, you know, be able to have that skin to skin. And get to spend that hour with them at the hospital that I was at. It was an hour that they'd have the baby on your chest after you'd push the baby out. And then they would do the weighing, and then they would do everything else. But, yeah. So, that's what you anticipate as a mama. You anticipate that moment where you get to push your baby out. And you get to hold your baby right away. But I had to wait. It was really hard. It affected our bond in the beginning. So the first time that I held my son, I had to get up out of bed. I'd have a nurse walk beside me, or actually I wanted the nurse to walk beside me just in case I started to fall, you know, just for safety reasons. And have her walk with me and drop me off at the nursery to see my own son. And I walked in and I said hi, I'd like to, you know, see my son. And she's like, oh yeah, honey, what's your son's name? I said, Landon Jax. You know, and she goes, okay. So she walked me over to his little incubator. I saw my baby boy all cleaned up and wrapped up and with monitors. And, yeah. It was really tough. I'm like bawling my eyes out over here. Oh, sorry, guys. But yeah. All I wanted to do was just take him with me. I probably held him for maybe close to an hour. I mean, honestly, to tell you the truth, time stood still as I was holding him in the nursery. And like I automatically rocked him, and the nurses were like, no, you need to hold him still so we can get accurate scores. And I said, okay. Sorry, you know, I said it was just like a natural mom thing to rock. And they're like, no, we get it. We're moms. But yeah, I just had this intense feeling of like that I wasn't like the normal kind of mom because that happened. It was just really tough. Sorry guys, I had to get cleaned up. But yeah, it was just really tough because, you know, I had yearned for that experience where I got to push LJ out of my own body, and that I got to, you know, have him be on my chest. And like, as nasty as it sounds, I didn't even like want them to clean him off. I just wanted him to be on my chest, fresh out the womb. That was like something that I really wanted. But it was taken from me. And, you know, as sucky as it is, I'm just happy that LJ's here and that he's healthy. And, you know, if it hadn't happened that way, then I wouldn't have my angel baby the way that I do. Because LJ is my angel baby. LJ is my best friend. And so is my husband. You know, they're my boys. And I love them both. And I'm just excited that I get to do life with them, and that Aaron and I will have more babies in the future. Not for a few years, though, just because I got an IUD in, so it's going to be like 2 or 3 years. So, yeah. You're not going to see me be pregnant anytime soon. I'm going to try to get my degree first, or at least be, like, pregnant while I'm, like, graduating. But, you know, we'll see. So, yeah. Thank you guys for watching. I'm going to hop off here and go be a mom to my wonderful miracle baby. Bye, guys.